The following is a class on the Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, 7th chapter, text number 28 and 29, given by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, recorded on September 25th, 1976, in Vrindavan, India.
Nahi yasya annakamam kinchit asankrata avakarsanam Vajyasa teja vinyat namasagya astutejasa suto bhata sutya bhagavata proktam phalguna parabirha prishyapastam parikramya Brahman Brahmasya Sandade. So, counteraction. This is military science. Sam Veda, Jajud Veda, Sadva Veda. And military science also, one of the part of the Veda. Dhanudveda. It is called Dhanudveda. How to utilize Dhanu. Dhanu means bow and arrow. Similarly, Ayurveda. Ayurveda means medical science. How to protect the Ayu. Because the body is perishable. So, in the Vedic knowledge, everything is there to guide the human society. It is stated in the beginning of Srimad Bhagavatam, Nigama kalpatarur golitam phalamidam. Nigama means Veda. And that is kalpataru. Nigama kalpataru galitam phalamidam. It is compared with a tree. What kind of tree? Desert. Nigama kalpataru, kalpataru. Kalpataru it can be found in the spiritual world, not in this material world. The spiritual world is described in the Brahma Samhita. What is that? Kalpataru. Chintamani. Kalpataru. Chintamani prakara sadamasu kalpataru. In the spiritual world, Golok Vrindavan, is described that the houses, palaces in that land, spiritual land, Golok Vrindavan, is made of Chintamani. Chintamani kalpataru. Chintamani prakara sadmasu kalpataru. Surabhi ravipalayantam Lakshmi sahasra sata sambrama sevamanam govindam adipurisam samaham maya. So kalpataru means whatever you want, you can get from that tree. Because everything is spiritual. For example, he can give you that you are a spiritual being. I am also a spiritual being. If I say, bring me a glass of water, he'll bring. Give me some fruit, he'll give me. Bring this, he'll bring. Because you are spirit soul, you can supply me whatever I want. This is the spiritual idea. Not that I wanted a glass of water, you can supply me a glass of water only. No. If I want other things, you can supply. This is an example, crude example. So, when there is no material obstacles, then the spiritual world can be utilized for any purpose. Here, because we are covered with the material body, there are two energies. It is described in the Bhagavad Gita, material energy and spiritual energy. Bhumirāpanalo vāyu khangamano buddhireva. This is material energy. And Krishna says, aparayam. This is inferior. Apara. Itastu viddhi me pratitim para. There is another superior energy. What is that superior energy? Living. It is not dead. Jiva bhuta mahamaya jayedam dhājate jagat. Without spiritual energy, this whole universe is useless. Anywhere you go. The modern scientists, they are going to, so-called, they are going to this planet, that planet, and they do not find any spiritual energy. They simply see the material energy, sand and rocks. That cannot, because they can bluff, because people are not aware of the whole science. They can bluff. In this material world, there are two energies working, material and spiritual. There cannot be only material. There must be spiritual energy. So, they say that there is no light, that means there is no spiritual energy. It cannot be accepted. It cannot be. It is out of question. Because here we find Jiva Bhuta Mahabaho Jayedam Dharjate Jagat. There must be living entity who is conducting this material energy. This body is very beautiful, very useful. Why? Because the spiritual energy, the soul is there. Otherwise it has no value. So when there is a planet, when there are other things, how it has developed? This is a reasoning, this is sense, because the material energy cannot develop without spiritual energy. Jiva bhuta mahabaho jaya idam dharjate jagat. There cannot be anything material without spiritual energy. What is this body? How this body came into existence? Because the spiritual energy, the soul is there. A dead child born, it will not grow because the spiritual energy is not there. So it has to be concluded that as soon as there is a manifestation of the material energy, there must be spiritual energy. It cannot. In the Bhagavad Gita, it is clearly said that this whole cosmic manifestation is combination of material energy and spiritual energy. So, therefore in the Vedas, Veda means knowledge. Vetti Veda Vidagyan. In the Sanskrit bhar, vidhat. Vidhatu means knowledge, to know. Vetti Veda Vidagyani Binte Vid Vicharan. Rabhe Vindati Vindate Vidhatu. Some Vidhatu, the Veda has come. Veda means knowledge. So from the Vedas, you can have all different types of knowledge, namely material knowledge and spiritual knowledge, both, perfectly. Because we have now forgotten our spiritual energy, we do not cultivate spiritual energy, therefore the bell is there. In the Chaitanya Chaitamrita, in simple Bengali language, it is said, Anadhi Bohinmukh Jeev Krishna Bhuli Gela Atay Krishna Ved Purana Karila. Because these rascals, Anadi Bohinmukh, do not know, just like this bird chirping, but he does not know what he is, where from he is coming, where to go, nothing. There is no great life. So, we are now forgetful of our spiritual energy, and because we do not know spiritual energy, therefore we have no knowledge of God. This is our position, and it is coming since very, 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 very long time immemorial. Therefore, the Vedas are there. Anat Bahirmukh Jeev Krishna Bhuli Gela Ataev Krishna Veda Purana Karila. So we have to utilize the Veda Purana. The Veda Purana is here in India. It is not for India, it is meant for the whole universe. But still it is available in India. That is India's special position. Indian civilization is not very much interested with the four-wheeled civilization. India is interested in spiritual cultivation, Veda Purana. So, this science, as it is mentioned here, Unnat Astragya. So Arjuna was expert in military science, and still he was a devotee. It is not that only a Brahmana with very clean cloth and clean habit, Sattva Sauchabhyam, Brahmana's first qualification is truthfulness and cleanliness. Sattva Sauchabhyam. This is the first qualification. Samadhamati Dikharjava Jnanam Vijnanam Astikam Brahma Karma Sabhavajam Tyagena Sattva Sauchabhyam Jamena Niyamena Va. So, this is Brahmanical qualification, but there are others also. That is Kshatriya. He is expert in the military science, how to kill. So the killing art is there. You cannot make it null and void by advocating non-violence. No, that is required. Violence is also a part of the society. Just like here is some itching sensation, this is violence. It is required for the comfort. So similarly, Arjuna was Kshatriya. He knew the art of killing, and still Krishna also, he appeared as a Kshatriya in the dynasty of Kshatriyas. Vasudev, son of Vasudev, he also knew the art of killing. That is also one of the part of his business. Jada jada hi dharmasya glani bhavati bharata paritranam sadhuna vinasaya duskrita. So vinas requires violence. So we cannot decry violence. That is also required. Krishna was speaking Bhagavad Gita, the science of God, in the battlefield of Kurukshetra. We cannot condemn violence, that is not possible. But there is no violence in the spiritual world. That is a fact. Violence is only in the material world. Therefore, when Krishna desired to fight, because all desires are coming from him, Janmadasya jataha, anything that we have got experience, everything is there in God. Therefore he is God. Not that minus something. Nothing minus, everything. Akila rasamrita sindhu, raso vaisa. These are the Vedic injunctions. He is the reservoir of all rasa, humor or mellow. So, this is also a mellow. Sometimes cruel men, they take pleasure by killing. I have seen it. One hotel man was cutting the throat of one chicken, the half cut, and it was sobbing, jumping. His child was crying because he could not see such horrible scene. And the man, the hotel man, he was laughing and pacifying the child. Why you are crying? Just see how he is throwing, how he is jumping. So, one subject matter, the rasa is different. Human is different. He is enjoying one rasa, the father, and the child is crying. That is also another rasa. So the whole world is full of rasa. Adi rasa. The sex life is called Adi rasa. There is Vibhatsa rasa, Hasya rasa, Karuna rasa, Madhurya rasa, Vatsalya rasa, Sokha rasa, Shanta rasa. There are so many rasas, 12 rasas. Annaya Vadirek, Adi rasa. So, Janmadasya jataha, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has described this Adi from Adi rasa. Adi rasa means the conjugal love, that is called Adi rasa. So, Janmadasya jataha, where from the Adi rasa come, the attraction between man and woman, that is a fact. The attraction is there in everywhere, either human society or animal society or bird society, beast society. The attraction is there. Pungsa sriya mithuni bhava metat. This whole world is existing on mithuni bhava, sex. Janamaithunadi grihamedi sukham mitucham. These things are there. So where from it comes? This Adi rasa. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has described in his comment on Srimad Bhagavatam in the beginning that Krishna is the origin of Adira, Janmadasya. From there, this Adira is generated. That is Radha Krishna. So everything is there. Otherwise, imperfectness. So, as there is Adira, Krishna is enjoying with the gopis and Radharani. Similarly, he enjoys with Vivassaras, Veeraras, killing. Killing is also Veeraras, because he is the reservoir of all rasas. So, Janmadasya Jata. So, do not think that this violence or fighting is bad. No, nothing is bad when it is utilized for Krishna. And nothing is good when it is utilized for your sense gratification. Everything is bad. Here Krishna ordered that this is Brahmastra. He could not understand that intolerable temperature, heat, and Arjuna inquired where from the heat is coming. So Krishna informed him that this is due to Brahmastra released by Ashwatthama. This rascal does not know how to counteract it. Naivasu Veda Sanghara. He does not know. Formerly in the military science, you have released one kind of arrow. If I am expert, then I can release another arrow which will counteract your arrow. Naivasu Veda Sanghara. It is called Sanghara. So, Ashwatthama released that Brahmastra. Now, Krishna advised Arjuna that you release these Sangharas, how to counteract. Unnadhyam astrabhyam. Unnadhyam. You know better than him how to counteract. Different astras are released by different expert military men. So that science is not yet discovered. By mantra, just like here it is said that he took water, Pristya apastang parikramya. Just like we take Namo Apavitra Pavitra Sarva Avastanga Viva. Similarly, mantra and water can be utilized for very, very important purpose. Simply mantra and water. So this is the science. This is called subtle science, not gross. They have discovered this atomic weapon. They require so many chemicals. But when you come to the higher stage, subtle, then mantra and water will do. Nothing more. No more chemicals. Simply mantra and water. That is yet you have to learn. But these things are there in the Vedas. If you are a serious student of Veda, you can also learn. You can also fight like Arjuna. There is no difficulty. Therefore, Krishna says, Shastragya, Unnata, Unnadhyam Astragya. You can also become learned in the higher science of military art, and you can also utilize, but that requires brain, good brain. That is not possible now because the culture is lost. Now everyone is Shudra. Nobody is Kshatriya, nobody is Brahmana. By the time, Kalu Shudra Sambhava, the Shudras cannot learn all this. Because Shudras have no right to understand Vedic knowledge. It is meant for the Brahmanas, Kshatriyas. Even not for the Vaishyas. Striya Vaishya Tatha Shudra. They are rejected. Women and Vaishya and Shudra. Krishna says, Striya Vaishya Tatha Shudra. But Krishna says, Te pijanti parangatim. Even women and Shudra and Vaishya, low grade, they can also get parangatim, promotion to the transcendental world. How? Maghi partha vyapasitya jepishu papajam. If you take to Krishna consciousness, then in these low-grade born persons, beginning from Striya, Shudra, Vaishya, down Chandalas, Chandalas means less than the Chandala. Kirata, Hunanda, Pulinda, Pukkasa, they are Chandalas. Kirata means the black clan or the Africans. So they are called Kirat. Huna, Andhra, Pulinda, Pukkasa, Avir, Sumba, Javana, Khasad. Javana, Khasad are Mongolians without any moustaches. Kirata, Hunanda, Pulinda, Pukkasa, Avir, Sumba, Javana, Khasad. Jenne cho Papa. There are still more low-grade sinful society, jenne cho papa. Jad upasraya sraya. If he takes the shelter of a pure devotee, Siddhanti becomes purified. Becomes purified. How? Siddhanti? Because Prabha Vishnave Nama. Lord Vishnu has got so exalted power that through his devotee he can purify anyone, never mind even one happens to be Chandala, and what to speak of others. King Puna Brahmana Punya Bhakta Rajasayastata. If they can be delivered, so what to speak those who are Brahmanas? Brahmana means punya, without having background of pious activities, nobody can take birth in rich family, in Brahmana family. Nobody can become highly learned person. Nobody can become beautiful. Janma Aishajya Sutasri. They are the action, reaction of punya. And just the opposite is pap. So everyone, there is no question of papi or punya. If anyone takes shelter of Krishna, Maghi partha vyapasitya, jipishu papajana, it doesn't matter. Everyone can be elevated to the transcendental position of Krishna consciousness. So this movement is there. Take advantage of it and elevate your life and finish the material trouble, dukkha sasatam. It is only simply full of miseries and temporary. This business must be stopped. And jadgatnyana nivartanti tadhamam paramam mama. Simply by going back to home, back to Godhead, your all problems of life will be solved. Thank you very much.